Hello, my name is Duncan Taboda, and I've been teaching adults English right here in the beautiful city of London for the last 10 years. I'm also the founder of Class 1 School of English. We're a brand new school hoping to start, we're having enrollments on the 25th of February in the centre of London. Hopefully, if you want to, why don't you come along and see what we're all about. For this latest tutorial, I'm going to speak to you about the present simple and the present continuous. Okay? Present simple and present continuous. So, these are two elements that do confuse people, not just when they start learning English, but also if they've been studying for a little while. So hopefully at the end of this, you'll have a clearer picture of how to use it, and it will be a bit easier for you to understand. So before we go into how we use them, let's go into how we form them, okay, how we spell them. The present simple is very simple. Basically, you don't change, you use the original form of the verb in most cases. So, I teach, you wash, we mix, they cross. Okay, we're just using the original verb. We're not doing anything. But when we are talking about he, she, or it, in other words, when we are speaking in the third person, then we have to add s or es to the verb. So, for example, I speak becomes he speaks. I stand becomes she stands. Yeah, I run becomes it runs. In some cases, we've got to put es, and we've got some good examples here. So when a verb finishes with ch, yeah, it becomes teaches. So I teach becomes he teaches. You wash becomes she washes. We mix becomes he mixes. They cross becomes she crosses. Okay? There's also, if a verb finishes with z, I don't know, buzz, a bee can buzz, or you can quiz, I can quiz you. So if it finishes with z, that also becomes es, buzzes. Now there are two other verbs, there is another case, like when a verb finishes with o, like go and do. Okay? For these two, when we're speaking about the third person, we also do es, but we're not adding a syllable. And all of these, we're adding a syllable. Crosses, mixes, washes, teaches, buzzes. We're adding another syllable. Here we're maintaining one syllable. He goes, she does. Okay, but you still have to put es on the end. So those are the spelling rules. Okay, but all the others, you just keep it without the s. So that's the present simple. With the present continuous, what we're doing is, present continuous, we add to form this now, we take the original verb and we add ing. So whatever verb you want to use, you put ing on the end. Teaching, standing, sitting, crossing. Okay? But this does have some spelling mistakes. So basically what you're doing is you're putting ing on the end of a verb. Okay? But you cannot use it without am, is, or are. Absolutely crucial. You cannot say I standing, I teaching, I visiting my friend. Can't do this, okay? You have to have am, is, or are in the present continuous. Okay, now we've got some spelling changes here as well. Only really two major changes, and there's one minor change. The first change we make is this. When a verb finishes with e, you take away that e and you put ing, coming, yeah? Live becomes living. Any verb that finishes with E, you take off the E and you put ing. Alright? But again, like I said, you must have am, is, or are after it. So that's the one spelling change, a major one. Another one is what we call CVC words. Now CVC means consonant, vowel, consonant. In English, A, E, I, O, U are all the vowels. Every other word, every other letter is a consonant, okay? Every other letter is a consonant. So when you have a letter, a word, that ends, a verb that ends with CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant, like for example, run or stop. If you look at the last three letters, consonant, vowel, consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant. It's always the last three letters. What you do is you have to double that consonant and then put ing. So run becomes running. Stop becomes stopping. Okay? However, this one particular one is a little bit complicated because in a one syllable word, a small word, it's fine, you double it. As soon as English becomes two syllables or more, it starts to get complicated because now you have to listen to the stress. Where am I stressing in the word, okay? So let me give you an example here. Visit. As you can see, visit is CVC. So to follow the rules, I've got to double that T before I put ing. But if you listen to how I say it, see if you can work out where I'm stressing. Where am I saying it the strongest, okay? Visit. Visit. I'm stressing the front of it. I'm not saying visit. If I was saying visit, I'd be stressing the back of it. And then I would double the T. But I'm not. I'm saying visit. So now I don't double that T. I just put ing. Okay? However, let me give you another one. This one here. Refer. When you refer something or you talk about something, or you can refer someone to someone else. If you send them somewhere else to get some advice, you are referring them. Now listen to how I say this one. Refer. Refer. I'm not saying refer. I'm saying refer. I am stressing the back of it. Now I would double that R and I would make it ing. Okay? So when it gets beyond one syllable, it does become complicated. You have to listen for the stress. And stress is not an easy thing to teach in English. There are some aspects of it where I can show you and I say this is always stressed here. But in general, you have to learn, you have to find out about it, you have to remember it. If we're talking about French, they always stress the very last syllable, always. So stress in French is easy. In Spanish, they will stress the penultimate syllable, so the syllable before the end. Again, fairly easy to understand. Not in English. We haven't got a hard and fast rule, unfortunately, so it starts to become complicated. But as you develop your English skills, as you practice your hearing skills, listen to people speaking, you will learn, you will find out, okay? The only time when that rule doesn't apply is when we have a CVC word, it doesn't matter how big the word is, and it ends with L. So, for example, travel. As you can see, travel is CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. But if you listen to me, I'm saying travel. I'm not saying travel, I'm saying travel. I'm stressing here, the front. But I'm still going to double that L. Because it ends with the L, I'm going to double it. Okay? Traveling. Cancelling. You're going to double the L. But, again, be very careful because in American English, they never double the L. In British English, we do. Okay? So, yeah, a bit difficult with stress. That's the doubling rule. Okay? In English, again, it becomes a little bit tricky because there's other things you've got to think about. There are some letters we never double. So, for example, we never double Y. So, play just becomes playing. We never double X. I think I showed you on the previous page. So, mix is just mixing. We never double W. I think mostly because it's too difficult to say. Double W, double W. Far too difficult to say. So we don't double W. So to bow, take a bow. Just ing. Okay? We don't double H. And right now, as I'm speaking, I can't think of a verb that ends with H. So I can't give you an example. Again, here's a job for you. If you think of a verb that's CVC and ends with H, why don't you type it up for me, okay? But you don't double those, so that's just ing, all right? So that's giving you an idea about the spelling, about the forming of it. Now, let's go into why we would use it, okay? So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the present simple. The present simple. The present tense is now, right? So it stands to reason, it's reasonable to think that you'd use the present simple for something that's happening now. But that's not the case, okay? The present simple, the only time that you would use it for now, and you might hear someone using it for now, is what's called narration, when someone is narrating. When someone is telling you a story about what's happening now. For example, sports commentary. When you're listening to the commentator on the sport, football, rugby, yeah, this is what they use the present simple. Ronaldo shoots. Rooney scores. Who else is there? Famous footballers. Let me see. Who else? Lionel Messi. Messi passes. Messi passes the ball. That's the only time you're going to hear it, when somebody is narrating, someone's telling you a story. The main time you're going to use the present simple is when you talk about regular events, okay? A routine. So, I visit my family every year. It's regular. You can't say, I am visiting my family every year, okay? So words like every, words like usually, always, sometimes. When you use those words in a sentence, you're going to use the present simple, all right, not the present continuous. These will all be, this vocabulary will be on the sheet that you get to download. So apologies if it's not there yet. I've only just started up my YouTube channel, but it will be there for you, okay? So when you're talking about something that you do on a regular basis, something on a routine, the present continuous, this is something you would use for two reasons, okay? One of it is for when something is happening right now. I am writing. Here's a good example of the spelling rule. Yeah, I've taken away the E and I've put ing, because write you spell with an E at the end. Don't be confused. I've had a lot of students say to me, why didn't you double that T? I didn't double it because write is not a CVC word. Write finishes with a vowel, consonant and a vowel. To double it has to finish with a consonant, vowel, consonant, okay? So that's the reason. All I've done is I've taken away the E, which is that one of the spelling rules, and I've put ing. So I am writing on the board. I don't have to put a now word or a now phrase. I don't have to say I'm writing on the board now. I'm sitting on the chair now. I don't have to say that, because if I write it like that, you know I'm talking about now. All right? But we can also use the present continuous for the future. Okay, you might get confused now. Hang on, you just told me you use it for now. Now you're saying for the future. That's the beauty of English. It's a complicated language, but it's a beautiful language. It's a rich language. It gives you options, okay? So I can now use the present continuous for the future. However, now I do have to add a word. It's essential for me to put a word. So, I am leaving tomorrow. When I'm using the present continuous for the future, I'm doing it for definite arrangements, okay? And I have to have a word or an expression that signifies the future. The future can be any time from now. 2 minutes. 2 minutes in the future. So if I say to you in 2 minutes, I'm coming in 2 minutes. I'm using it for the future. And I'm using a future expression, in 2 minutes. Right? So for the future, absolutely essential that you use a future word or a phrase. I always say put the time phrases on the end of the sentences. Okay? You can't get confused then. It doesn't always have to be that. You don't have to put them there. But I always say time phrases, put at the end. You can't get confused then. So everything else is the same. I am leaving. It's the same as the present continuous when talking about now. So if I'm walking out the door right now, I'm leaving. Okay, see ya. I'm leaving. I'm doing that right now. Okay? I'm leaving tomorrow. I've moved into the future. Okay? So remember, you can use it for now, you can use it for the future. However, you cannot use it without am, is, or are. Okay? Please, please, please get out of the habit of saying I working tomorrow. I writing in my book. Please get out of that because that is completely wrong English. Okay? So just to recap, present continuous. You can use it for now, something that you're doing right now at this very moment, or you can use it for the future with a future word or a future expression. Present simple, if it's a routine, if it's something you do on a regular basis, yeah? Except when you are narrating, when you are telling a story, like I explained about the commentary, the football commentary. All right? I hope this has enlightened you a little bit more. If it has, then why not subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel? It's not going to cost you anything. I'm hoping to always keep it subscription free. What you do is you go onto YouTube and you search in the search bar, type my name, it'll bring up my channel, click on the channel, click on subscribe. It won't cost you anything, and there might not be many videos on there at the moment because I've only just started, but I am planning to load some every day. My target, I want to put at least 10 on there every week, all about different aspects of English. So please keep coming back. Please as well tell your friends, share it with your friends, share it with your Facebook friends, whatever. And another big favor to ask you, please watch the adverts that come on before. It might last for 30 seconds, might be less, it might be more. It's the adverts that will help us to keep it subscription free, so you never have to pay. So please, just take 30 seconds and then watch it, yeah? So, I'm Duncan. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's enlightened you a little bit more. Now, there are some times when you can't use the continuous. There's some verbs, we will come to that. You will find out about that. But in general, this is how you would use the present continuous, okay? So, thank you very much. That's the end of this tutorial, and all I can say is over and out.